1 step, pause, slash at a fish. 1 step, pause, slash, step, and pause, and slash. Taking 1 step and pausing once more, Gertrude winced at the sight of a fish readying to pounce, and letting it fly over his head, he ducked at the sight of its pouncing. The fish writhed and wiggled overhead, then landed on the bridge behind, only to be taken out by a belligerent bunny. After a time, the battle became monotonous. The stupid fishes, though numerous, never changed in strategy, only jumping up and over. Sheer numbers and mere persistence drove the fishy force, but the skill and motive of our heroes and the bunnies overcame, over half the bridge being successfully trekked. Passage to the islands of the east seemed touchable, that is, until the gumdrop-filled cries of Pancake reached Gertrude's ears from the back of the ranks. She was surrounded, and Gertrude began fighting his way back to her. "Get off, you nasty things!" Pancake screamed, shooting cinnamon from her nostrils into the mouths of too many fish. The fishes ignored the spice in their mouths, continually uttering, for us, you live and die for us!" Sucking the air, hoping to latch onto the sweet candy skin of Pancakes, the fishy creatures waddled closer and closer. Taking 2 of her arrows and putting 1 in each hand, Pancake spun, pointing the weapons at each fish. Get back, you disgusting things!" "No," said one fish. "Never," said another. "You are here for us, and sent by mother and father for us," a third chimed. "You fight and scream, only for our pleasure." "No!" Pancake screamed, jabbing her arrow forward and grazing the scaly skin of one. "Stay back!" For us, and for me!" the bleeding fish chanted, its shiny, dim-witted eyes looking in no particular direction. "I look so hopeless," Pancake whispered under her breath, jabbing once more at the circling fishes. Why is it that I always end up in the worst of situations, alone? Yes, alone, too. Why alone? Beginning to shake with frustration, Pancake sighed and wiped a gumdrop tear from her cheek. And what would Mom think of me? Unable to use a bow? Knocking her bow, Pancake decided in haste to shoot short range. Quivering, the girl aimed, but falling and failing, Pancake scraped her knee on the bridge's surface as a fish from behind tackled her, latching its wet jaw on her shoulder. The others soon leaped and loaded themselves upon the sugary sweet girl, joining their sibling and chanting between bites, for us, no other motive but us." "Get off of me!" Pancake squealed, vainly shooting cinnamon everywhere and trying to thrust the fishes away. To no avail, the candy girl fought and fought, fist by shove, as the fish's saliva began dissolving her sugary skin. Under the weight, she collapsed, and over the girl, the fish sucked and swallowed her sweetness, and just as Pancake felt the saliva reach her toes, she heard the signature sound of Steve's zippers. "Now, from what Gertrude tells me, there's something fishy about this situation, Pancake," Steve zipped. Appreciating Steve's joke, for the first time, Pancake smiled a teary smile and tried to shake her opponents off of her once more. "No worries, and calm down, Pan," Gertrude chimed. "I am here to help, and help seems to be needed." With that, the boy swung, thrust, and jabbed his sword, never missing a fish. Of course, not missing a dim-witted landfish isn't much of an accomplishment, mind you. And in the end, a messy mesh of frightened candy girl and sliced westerfish offspring remained. "Pan, you okay?" Gertrude said, watching the girl shiver with fear and humiliation. I am fine," muttered the candy girl as she brushed off fishy remains and tried to stand. But she was too weak. "Just a little too wet for a little too long. The sugar on my skin is almost all gone, and it protects a candy person's sensitive skin, so the sun is just burning a bit." Indignant to her weakness, the girl continued to attempt to stand. "Pan, stop," Gertrude said, combing back his hair and holding out his hand. "Take my hand, and let me help." "No!" Pancake screamed, slapping away his hand. No, she whispered. No, I can do it. Go fight the Westerfishes. I should be fine. Pan, let me help. Look, Gertrude gestured to the fighting on the bridge. We're almost fully across. Just let me help. The boy bent over, took Pancake's hand, and helped her up. He smiled and turned, holding the candy girl by the hand through the mass of bunnies and the occasional fish. Over the yells of battle and the sounds of hope, Steve zipped. Pancake, you can't do this on your own. Who are you trying to prove yourself to? The world? I may just be a backpack, but I can tell you one thing. I don't know who it is, but there's someone out there worth impressing. Someone not like us, not simple like us. And something tells me that someone isn't so much impressed by any of us. And rightfully so. I don't think we are all that impressive. Not compared to that someone, anyways. We always seek to impress those not worth impressing, and in that, we disregard the one worthy of our attention. That very action reveals that we aren't impressive at all. So perhaps there's another way to be accepted by the one worthy of our attention, aside from impressing that someone. The backpack paused. So if it is of any consolation, stop trying to impress whoever or whatever it is you're attempting to, and instead look for the one worth your attention, not seeking to impress, but to humble yourself at that one's impressiveness. I don't know. I guess that's just what I've heard. Holding to Gertrude, Pancake shook her head in thoughtful confusion, contemplating the backpack's words. Was Steve right? Indignant, the candy girl spoke. Steve, I'm not trying to impress anyone. I'm fine. Really? Steve zipped. The backpack paused as Gertrude slashed at a fish, then continued. From the inflection in your voice, I could swear you are in denial. But then again, Luciano has been humming an intense tune inside me to match the battle the past bit, so my hearing may be off. I would say your hearing is off, Pancake muttered. Oh, okay, if you insist. The backpack zipped, then quickly moved on to begin singing to the tune that Luciano, the singing caterpillar, hummed inside of him. Steve's words becoming slurred and chopped every time Gertrude jostled to fend off a Westerfish baby. Time slurred slowly, then jotted jerkily with the battle's intensity. Each individual moment lasted forever, while the moments after sped past. Fish chanted, bunnies battled, and our heroes persevered. Her sensitive skin stinging from the sun, Pancake managed to down a couple fishes with her arrows, staying by Gertrude's side. His zippers jiggling from Gertrude's movement, Steve managed to keep singing with Luciano. And the boy's ears ringing from the battle and Steve singing, Gertrude managed to maintain his wits, fighting viciously. Finally, after far too many minutes spent, our heroes stepped off the swaying bridge and touched solid ground once again where Patricia and Patrick the frog sat, allowing bunnies upon bunnies to pass behind them, but keeping fish away by a flick of the tongue. Our heroes ran behind the giant amphibians to safety as young Westerfish jumped at them, some being taken by the frogs' tongues. Bunny by bunny bounced and bounded out of the baby Westerfish's territory and into the protection of the giant frogs, until all live bunnies were accounted for. Colonel Bonnie, General Benjamin addressed, how many bunnies live? General Benjamin, after speaking with the 5 commanders, I have found only minimal casualties were taken, Bonnie said, saluting her father. Roughly 15 bunnies gone and only 10 injured. Concerned, Benjamin furrowed his brow. Our children have sacrificed themselves for you, Carol, my Easter bunny. The general then turned to the frogs. You two finally full?
Rabbit,
Patrick burped.
yes.
Yes, indeed. Best meal in years.
Ribbit,
Agreed, dear, Patricia seconded. And girl, Benjamin spoke, addressing Pancake. How is your skin? Sitting in the grass, Pancake winced. As good as it can be, just red and a couple blisters. If we can find some sugar, I will be fine. My skin makes some of its own, but extra just helps me heal. Good, the old bunny dismissed. And Gertrude, great fighting today. You have the makings of a true warrior. Emperor Dad may have chosen correctly indeed. Benjamin smiled, then walked off muttering. Now, Coco, what do you think about... Of course, Pancake muttered. What, Pan? Gertrude said, kneeling down and combing back his lavishly black hair. Pancake took a deep breath. It's nothing, Gertrude. Nothing at all. You sure? Gertrude said, standing up. Here, Pan. Let me go see if I can find anything to cheer you up. Pancake smiled. Okay, thanks. Look, Gertrude grinned, pointing in the distance. The islands of the east. We're almost there. We're almost to the first key to the sky's control room. And we can destroy the parents of those baby, fiendish fish. Yeah, the girl sighed, looking at the horizon that held the Easter Bunny's islands, carrot fields, and grandeur, while the boy walked away with the backpack jabbering in his ear.